My name is Terrence Blackwell.
And I'm Brittany Blackwell. And this is Bella-Amore Blackwell. So our journey into parenthood, we were married for about 7 years before we started on our journey. And actually 6 years, 7 years until we had her. This is our second pregnancy, first baby. And I would say that this pregnancy was heaven sent.
Amazing.
It was amazing. I'm so grateful. It's like I kept waiting for it to get like harder, like what I would hear all the mothers say. But it was beautiful. It really was.
Every aspect of it.
Every aspect of it. Of course I had morning sickness sometimes. I was super tired. But overall it was such a joy. I feel like it flew. Some days it feel like it's longer than others, but I feel like it flew. And now she's here almost 4 months. So we're grateful for how smooth it's been so far.
So I think I was introduced first.
Yeah.
She had signed me up for a daddy's class, and I was like, man, I don't have time for this. I don't want to do this. I was like, how much did you pay for the class? Like, I'm not going. And then when I decided to go, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for 20 minutes. That's it. And we went. I went for the class. Like, I actually seen somebody there I knew, and it was actually like a really good class because I had an opportunity to like really learn about like how I can support her through pregnancy. Because I think a lot of times, like as a guy, like you don't really know what to do, within pregnancy because I'm not physically pregnant. So I don't really know what to do. So it was a great experience. So I can like really know how to help her out through this process.
Yeah, we decided to choose Birth in Color and have this support because just doing research, we knew we wanted to have our birthing experience, my birthing experience, our story, labor, everything different. And knowing that, as a Black woman, the stats don't always look too good in our favor, right? So we really wanted to be educated. We wanted to make informed decisions. I had a midwife and, and a doula as well. So we wanted to do things a little bit different than other people did really around us. I don't think anyone that we know personally had a midwife. And so, upon coming, like Terrence said, finding that class and hearing, he was amped. I was like, well, we have to go to the birthing class if that's the case. And we fell in love with Kenda. We found some really, really cool mommy friends and daddy friends. And just all the resources, have been A1, like top of the notch. All the courses, I've done yoga here. All the things have been such a good resource for us. So it's been helpful.
I think a key lesson that I took from coming to the Birth in Color class was like individually, like we both have roles, like, within the pregnancy, within, becoming parents. And I think like it's kind of like really isolating the area, like our key roles in parenting. Because like when I went to the father's class, like it really taught me to like, that I have, an option too, like where I have like, not necessarily like rights or whatever, but like I have like an opinion, I can help out with things that we need as fathers. So it really like helped because I never thought that, like I have an opinion as well as a father. So, but then also like understanding like what her needs are and like knowing like what it's like to actually hold the weight of a baby. So that really changes your perspective of like what she actually goes through. So it kind of makes you, really appreciate it a lot more.
There are so many things that we learned from our experiences in classes with Birth in Color. One thing I can say that stood out to me is just the education piece. We learned so much. Anytime I talk about like my birth story or just all the things, people are like, you can write a book because all the education parts that we learned from like the parts of our body to the things that changes to what to expect during birth and labor and even how to advocate for ourselves. I was really big with Kenda. Almost every class I asked her about hypnotherapy because I wanted to be as equipped as possible to have this baby without any medical intervention, which I had to be induced just because she had to get here. It was an emergency, but I did not use any pain relief or medication that I can really like take the lessons from hypnotherapy and the times that we had here to just be present, even the yoga classes that we had here to just be with my body, how to breathe, that was really, really helpful, and I feel like was the hardest part, or what I thought the hardest part was going to be throughout this whole entire journey. It actually wasn't that bad. It sounds crazy, but I think that the courses definitely the courses and those lessons helped to prepare me for that. The day that we had to, give birth, we went in the last 2 weeks. My blood pressure had been elevated, so they had us coming in every week, more frequently to get tests done, primarily ultrasounds and stress tests on her. And so the last one, the amniotic fluid was really low, and they were like, "Oh, you're having this baby today. Like, go home. You gave us 2 hours, pack your bags. Our bags were already packed. Get some food and get back to the hospital ASAP." And it was very scary because I just felt, and I had read and just heard that whenever you do get induced, the contractions or waves is what we call them, surges, were really, really intense. The likelihood of you getting medicine or an epidural is higher, and also the C-section could be higher, that rate could be higher as well. So I was nervous, but one thing that I really stood on was just to be present, like take it 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, instead of trying to, think of what the future may look like, because that would just freak me out even more and probably have my blood pressure sky high even more. And so we got to the hospital, we started the induction process. My body just followed. They didn't even have to do a lot of, I never had Pitocin. My body just followed the induction. And I mean, I think this started at midnight when we started the induction process, and we had her at 5:40 p.m. the next day. 3 pushes, which was really, really quick. And, I wouldn't say easy, but it kind of was. It felt easy. I always say,
it was an amazing team.
Yeah, it was an amazing team, for our midwife to our doula, Terrence, my birth partner. Everyone just, really just helped me, made me feel really empowered to give birth in the way that I wanted to. I really always say the word I use is magical. That's how I feel like my birth experience was. It was magical, and a lot of Black women don't have that experience. So I'm so grateful that, I really attribute it to this class, to Kenda, to the resources that allowed me to be very, very, very informed, to know what I wanted and how to just kind of equip me for it that day, even getting induced and still being able to have a natural, all pregnant or deliveries are natural, but like a, non-medicated birth.
So my experience from the birthday was a little different, I guess, because more so like I'm coming in from an aspect where I'm trying to comfort her in the process. And when we went in for the appointment, they told her that the amniotic fluid levels was low. So that obviously that's something that's like new information, it's different information. So we were already prepared, we were already packed, so when we went home, we just kind of got our minds together, we kind of like relaxed, got some good food, calmed down, and we went back to the hospital. And the good thing about it is like we had like a really good team, like the team of ECU, the doulas were all amazing. The midwives were all amazing. We had met all of them, but I think 2. And it just so happened the 2 that we didn't meet were the ones that were on call for that for the birthing process to start. It was really almost spiritual, I would say, because like Bro was in such a great place, like she was like in such a comfort place, and I was trying to make sure that I could be there for her as well, to like make sure that she can stay, grounded within that process. So just kind of making sure that it's the best process possible for her, so we have a perfect child, So it was amazing. I always say the same thing. It was magic. It was amazing. But it started from like the resources that we had at Birthing Color, and then like just having just knowing that we can do it. Like we're gonna be okay parents. We can get through the process, and it's really just been amazing.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of this because Terrence, actually, I remember like when we first started the induction process, him asking some of the questions that I probably would have asked, but in that moment, my mind was so many places, and I felt like he was definitely advocating for me, which he would have done, I feel, anyways. But I feel like us being in these classes gave him not just the voice, but
Tools.
Yeah, exactly, the tools to know what to ask for. It was perfect. It was perfect. I definitely would say the classes and the tools that we had really helped the experience for sure.
I would say one of the rewards of fatherhood is just like really being able to like love. I know it kind of sounds cheesy, but like it's I never imagined like being able to love like a person as much as I do. And I mean, obviously, I love
Hey.
my wife, but but like to love like this little person, to like walk into a room and she sees you and like she just lights up.
Yeah,
Like it's probably like the best feeling ever.
it is.
And never imagined, never understood or imagined like how much you could like really love a person. So as far as like fatherhood, like I'm so thankful that I'm able to do it. Just to be able to like be a father, to obviously like be a husband, but like be a spouse that's helping to raise a child. So I'm just thankful more than anything.
Yeah, one of the joys I would say about motherhood is definitely the love. Also, um, trusting myself, which is, interesting. This does not come with a manual. All the tools and resources are perfect, but there's like an innate something that, I have that it feels good to trust myself, and it's like my intuition has not let me down. When it comes to care for her, she's allergic to all these dairy things, so we had to get an allergy test. But like trusting our instincts to know, like to advocate for her, like this is what's going on. Like it's not just reflux, it's not just, and so I think that and the connection that I have with her is just so beautiful. Like being able to, be her calm and, her safe space when she's upset, and to pick her up and, to see her cool and just relax or melt into my arms, knowing that this is mommy, this is where I came from. It feels really, really good. And it's such a, like Terrence said, it's a joy and a love that words cannot describe. Everyone's like, it's wait till you have your baby, I mean, there's nothing like it, and now that she's here, there is nothing like it. So I think that's for sure a few joys I would have to share. Challenge as a new parent. Sleep. What's that? You know what that is? I don't know. I haven't seen that in a while. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm a girl. Before any of my friends, family, they know I need my sleep, honey. So I was actually nervous about what life would look like to not be able to sleep throughout the night, or just having to accommodate to this new person's, the boss's schedule. And it is a challenge. It's not as hard as I thought it was going to be, because you just have to get up. She cries, you have to change her, you have to feed her, you have to pump, you have to whatever. And so I think my mindset has been to first give myself grace, because I didn't want to feel overwhelmed or stressed. Terrence has been such a good support and spouse. I mean, because there are times when we both are sleepy, and I'm like, honey, I'm nursing her in the middle of the night. He'll be like I wake him up, he'll be sleepy, but he'll be like, okay, sure, like you need a break, okay, So I think for us, a way we've been able to get through those challenges when it comes to sleep is the support. Like we lean on each other. If one of us is really, really tired, we need nap, hey, I ain't gonna make it. You gotta take her. Or, can you give me a break for a little bit? And that has been so helpful for us to make sure that we also prioritize our mental, because we're not, the best parents of Bella-Amore. We're not the best ourselves. So that sleep, that's been a challenge, but we've been able to accommodate and adjust as best as we can. What would you say?
In regards to challenges, I wouldn't really say that we had a lot, to be honest. I think it's all like perspective, and I think we work really well together. So, like when she, again, like when she needs a break, like I can step in. When I need a break, she can step in. So it really kind of helps to balance each other out, because it's like two against one in a sense. Like we're trying to raise this person. So she wins sometimes, but most times like we really work well together. So as far as challenges, I mean, yeah, definitely sleep. I would say sleep, but we do well overall. So no major challenges. I would say for anyone who is potentially thinking about having a child, I would 110% recommend Birth in Color. And more so just in general, like just understand, like having an education of like the process. Because there's certain things that you just lack knowledge on when it comes to like the birthing process, like how to be there as far as like a parent, things to know and understand. So I think in general, I think people should like just get some type of education. And I also recommend, if you can, do a midwife, do a doula, use those services because like that's a whole nother level. Like you don't think about, when you're pregnant that, cooking still has to get done. Like cleaning still has to get done. Going grocery shopping or whatever, or just having like that person to lean on to talk to. So it's really important to have like someone outside the circle to help out. I definitely would like use a lot of the resources that are available. When you start the process, and get a community too. Like it's so important that this is not something that you should do alone. It's so important that you have people around you that you can lean on, people who had children before or think about having children, whatever. They can come in and say, "Hey, look, I'm hungry. Can you bring me a meal?" Like those things are really important in that process.
So for any couples that are looking to, start planning their family, I would absolutely say to have an organization like Birth in Color, or Birth in Color itself. The reason why I say that is because the community, first of all, is we have friends now, like from our group that we talk to all the time, all types of questions, concerns, like all of the time.
I
Like
just had a cookout.
yeah, literally, just like a few days ago. So the community, but also the education.
Yeah.
Like the education, the tools, the resources, and the access. I mean, I can't, say it enough how much the information helped us to make so many informed decisions. I mean, I had to, call out, well, I guess you can say call out, advocate for us when it came to some of our midwives and providers. They were from tools and conversations and lessons that we learned here at Birth in Color. So, like I said before, there's no manual to any of this, right? There's no manual to giving birth, to starting a family, to any of it. So the more resources that you have, especially if you are a person of color, I think it's so important and imperative to make sure that you have tools and access and resources and information and community to make sure that this can not be a traumatic experience, like unfortunately it is for a lot of minorities and Black women. So that's what I would say.
So I've realized what brings a smile to Bella's face. You see her daddy.
No, I knew he was gonna say that.
Her mom's cool.
Oh, whatever.
She has to be here, I guess. So, but no, I think like I think she really feels the love. Like we really try to we give her 100 kisses a day. We hug her all the time. And we just like to show her so much love. So I think she really feels it and appreciates it. So.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've seen that brings a smile to Bella-Amore's face is definitely her parents. She loves us so much. Like we'll walk in the room and she'll just light up. Like she'll just start smiling. And we don't do anything. Like, before we even talk to her, she'll wake up sometimes and as soon as she pops her little head up, she'll look over at us and she'll see us and she'll just start smiling. And it feels so good. It's like, you know us. And so that is just, it gives us the warmest, fuzziest feeling. So, I think just us, her mommy and her daddy, she just loves us.